Hello again. Welcome back to some more Songs of Socks. Welcome back to some more Songs of Socks. What an inauspicious way to start an episode. Alright, so we left off after discovering the extreme power of nobility, and also midway through digging a canal up to a swimming pool in the mines. I have since learned that a well would do the trick. So that's well, it's not unfortunate, it's a good thing, but it is a little unfortunate considering how far along I am in the construction of a swimming pool for the miners. But yeah. Not ideal to learn that your work was somewhat in vain. Right, I'm also noticing that we don't have enough housing right now. And I think we can probably, yeah, it looks like we can probably resolve that mostly with basements. Let's find out for sure. Where's the upgrade button? There it is. I think we've probably done most of our housing already, but yeah, certainly not all yet. So let's see what we've missed and see where we can... Okay, I'm out of furniture for that now. I should probably increase my furniture production. It costs so much innovation, although I will also want to start looking into tools very soon, as we probably want to start mining ore relatively soon. We've got a kind of slightly annoying area here where there's a little bit of ore, big chunk of coal, and then a little bit of stone. There's a much more solid ore spot over here, but it's quite a ways off. So I'll probably start with this one here. Ore deposits plus 10%. This one's minus 10%. And this one up here is also plus 10%. There is some exposed ore over here, but it's not a very good node. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dig into here. Let's just go ahead and cut straight through like that. It's been a little while since I played this. I've been very busy on another project, which I was about to say I'm happy with. I'm not happy that I've been busy on the project, but I'm happy with how the project is turning out, despite being a sponsored video. There's nothing inherently wrong with a video being sponsored. It doesn't just inherently make the video worse, but, you know. What I will say is that if a company has to play... If a company feels like, let's say feels like they have to pay me to make a video, usually there's a reason for that. And even though generally that reason is simply because not very many people know about a game, not necessarily that it's terrible, you know, you can see my point, basically. This hospital requires a load of tools to make. I don't remember the hospital needing tools. But fair enough, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. Okay, we definitely need to make more furniture. Unavailable wood. Oh, I see. That'll do it. Well, I can relatively easily increase the amount of wood. Hopefully. Let me just speed things up to see what kind of effect that has, if any. Not looking great on the wood. Do we have a spare noble by any chance? Now would be a good time. I haven't invested any innovation into wood cutting. Why are they producing so little? Well, we now employ 50 in our woodcutters at least. Oh, is it because of the drought? Oh, yeah, it looks like it's because of the drought. It's applying essentially a 0 multiplier to our wood production. Well, there's not much I can do about that then, aside from order a load of trees felled. So hopefully that will help. Are these occupied? I have 8 chambers and 9 nobles apparently. So that's not great. I suppose I'll continue producing Rich People Street over there. We have 114 aspiring immigrants right now, but I'm going to keep letting the population grow naturally. Because I don't have enough housing for the people we've currently got. We're still pretty positive on food production. I need a janitor down here. To make sure the meat warehouse doesn't go completely to shit. What are we doing? I need more housing. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to actually make more housing. I'm just gonna copy this whole area here, I think. Interesting, it appears it won't copy the well for some reason. Oh, sorry, the humidifiers. Oh no, it will. I'm not sure why they were showing up as red. But I'll place some of this housing sort of on the outskirts. Provide housing for employees of those industries. Or something like that that sounds like I know what I'm doing. We could probably brew more booze. We could definitely brew more booze. Did I limit the workload of this? Yeah, I think I did. So that's increased that ever so slightly, but we're still going to be nowhere near a net positive for long, right? I'm assuming the consumption will rise to meet the new production. Oh, I could be wrong though. Maybe I would. No, there it is. There it is. Okay. So I'd actually have to make another brewery. Whoopsie. And I would just copy this one exactly. but turn it this way around so it doesn't look exactly the same. Ah, genius. Genius, you see. Okay, what's happening right now then? I think I might have placed a lot of jobs and split people up, split my workforce up, to be honest. Got over 100 odd jobbers. Oh, I accidentally copied a house that uses mud walls as well. That's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either. So my other focus today is supposed to be military. I really think we finally have to get something resembling a defensive military. Because death is inevitable if we don't. But the kind of civil side of things is going pretty well right now. I can afford to do some more upgrades. Where is the room upgrade tool? There it is. So we can do this little block here, finished off. And that one as well. There we go. That puts us at least up to positive in terms of available housing. Alright, we did get a load of wood now. And we are also now actually producing wood. We're still using more than we make. Quite substantially, actually. The carpenters can, at max, use 666 per day. So I've probably been fairly massively underserving them for a while. I could refurnish one of these. Oh, man. The moment I did that, the Master of Carpenters died. That's, how very tragic. He just knew. The shock of me refurnishing, quote-unquote refurnishing, feels like a weird word to use for this. But the shock of me doing that just caused him to die on the spot. I mean, you know, when people have worked somewhere for a long time, sometimes it turns out that was the only thing keeping them alive. So many people just retire and immediately die. It turns out their job was their entire purpose for living. Which I find so dreadfully sad, but hey, to each their own. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so that automatically replaced the noble carpenter, yeah? Okay, it did, yeah. Sorry, I said woodcutter, but it was actually a carpenter, right? Same thing. Carpenters just cut wood that's already dead. So yeah, I think that just having this well here will essentially stop the constant deaths from heat stroke. So definitely should have done that a while ago. I'm realizing now that I can actually upgrade these wells as well. Hahaha. So I definitely should. Because it's not particularly expensive, and it will make people happy. Which is for some reason very important to me. The bug people don't need to be made that happy. They're easy to please. But I like to see the happiness bar looking good. You know? I want them to be loyal. Apparently they don't really like their occupation right now. I think there's too many unemployed people. About 170 odd jobbers. We're also starting to have some people retired. Damn. Okay, well, one way that I can kind of use a load more people, well, the brewery will help. That will employ a load of people. This Baltic crawler breeder is also about to finish. I should preemptively get more being built. I learned that I shouldn't wait to do that. What I was going to say is I could build another laboratory because I want more innovation anyway, and I'll also be doing a library relatively soon. Oh, the brewery finished. My my city isn't very logical right now. It's somewhat sprawling. I like it though. Yeah, so this brewery is now working. I don't know if there's anything that's going to cause problems there. Probably, yeah, okay. We're probably not making enough pottery. Which I should be able to resolve. If I can... There it is. Yeah, okay, I'm massively understaffing the pottery. Well, that solves a lot of our employment problems then, just with the brewery and pottery. I've noticed the game is also running worse now. We've obviously just reached a point where there's kind of enough being simulated that it's actually taking some horsepower to do it. How many children do we currently have? I want to know what our population looks like. 255 children. And 68% native. Alright. Very good. Very good. I want to see this lab get built. There we go. In progress. I think that employs like 50... No, it's like 35. Well, I'll find out in a minute. $48. Okay, it was more like 50. And that's going to use a lot of clay. Luckily, we've got loads of headroom at the clay pit. So I am going to have to let our workforce kind of build up again. I have unlocked the library, right? Yes, okay. That's gonna be the next thing, I think. Because whilst I really need a military, but not producing any knowledge is really rough. So with the military, the army supply depot is just about supplying armies out on the world map, which I think realistically I'm not thinking about right now. I'm thinking about pretty much a purely defensive kind of situation. So it's going to be about putting up walls and gatehouses. Obviously we'll want to do an archery range as well at some point, although I assume that Garthemi are absolutely terrible at that. With the idea of gatehouses in mind, could be a little bit tough. I guess we're going to be like, we're going to be walling pretty much all the way from like down here up to this road and up to the caves, making sure we don't have a back door, something like that. I suppose we probably have to wall like down here as well. And I suppose we just use a regular structure wall for that. Oh no, fortifications. There you go. These are proper fortified walls, right? Yeah, palisades, stone walls. And grand walls. Wow. So to make anything more than a palisade, I actually have to unlock it. We have 102 innovation right now. So yeah, there's fortifications in there. It's 10 knowledge and then 50 knowledge for the grand wall. Soldiering. Elevate your drill sergeant's abilities to turn out good troops in short order. And I could unlock the archery range, but I would have to actually make bows. Like, I'm not making any weaponry right now. I unlocked makeshift spears, but I probably just want to get to the point where I can, you know, actually forge things, because I want to be able to make tools. Yes. Yes. So I'm going to hold on to most of that innovation for now. For the moment. Whilst I continue to let the population grow just a hair, and let us apparently very slowly work towards this this ore. You know, it would probably be wise to essentially build a straight line over to it like this as well. Just because there's a fairly natural path back towards the city and, you know, warehousing over here. I believe I set this warehouse up with a load of headroom, yeah, so it can, a large group of Garthemis have decided to leave your city. Uh-oh, I think we actually have maybe a loyalty problem? 82%, I mean, but it's heading way up. So did the loyalty just go up because anybody that was disloyal... Wow, yeah, 100 people just left though. What did I do wrong? I thought you loved me. Looks like I could do with better coverage for various fun time services. Especially lavatories. It's very important. As much as I hate hearing the damn things. I did unlock the upgrades for them as well. Worth keeping that in mind. But I guess they just don't really have one down here in the south, so let's make a big toilet for them. Wow, that sucks. So we just lost a load of workforce like that. Like 100 people just emigrated. Well, that's terrible. What can I say? That's terrible. They actually don't like open space as well. I've probably been building far too wide open. It's a strange game in that, you know, I can't really think of any other game where these things matter so much, like the general sort of shape and nature of the environment that your citizens live in. You know, there's often some basic accounting for like beauty, or you know, cleanliness and beauty, as is the case in RimWorld, for example. But things like the actual physical shape and how much space they have is very very unique. I can't remember whether or not I unlocked the upgrade for food stalls. I didn't. Okay, I have 237 innovation available right now. That new laboratory did quite a lot for us. We're still good and positive on meat? Yeah, very. So I don't really feel like I need to pump a load into gem mining. I'm going to just preemptively put a load of innovation into ore, because I don't want that to be crazy slow. I'll leave it on the smelting for now, see how dire that situation is. Yeah, it's tough to really know where my innovation should be going. Well, I can unlock guards with 4 innovation, but I don't actually think my people like that, so that might have just been a waste. I should definitely unlock the further efficiencies for clay mines. There's actually an upgrade for the clay mines as well. What is the cost of that? A lot of furniture and metal. A lot of metal as well. So I'm going to hold off on that for sure. Yeah, I really need to make a library, but obviously just losing a huge chunk of workforce there has really set me back. I'm sure it will kind of push back up relatively quickly, but yeah, that's tough. That is tough. We're currently sat on a full clothes storage, so I can give people more clothing. Our clay is headed way down, so let's continue to make them more efficient at extracting clay from the ground. That's getting pretty expensive now, so I want to be careful about spending all of my innovation on it, but it is pretty important. So let's see what we're at in terms of production now. 600, 700. I need to give them a full work day. It's possible that I could actually, okay, it looks like we went up to about 800. Surprisingly small push, actually. Oh yeah, of course, I'm only running one clay pit, so I can just see the total production just from here. Obviously, again, that clay pit can employ far, far, far more people, but I don't really have the people to spare. I'll spend a little bit more innovation on that, but I'm kind of anticipating that I'm going to want to save some anticipation. I want to save some anticipation. Let the anticipation build. No, I feel like I'm probably going to want some innovation for metal and like tool production. It's going to take us a long ass time to get over to this ore mine at the current rate, though. Obviously, that's partially because we lost all of our odd jobbers in that mass emigration. We're not far off of being where we were now, though. I would really like to unlock the asylum. We have so many people going crazy right now. But it's 60 knowledge, which probably isn't that hard to get to. Someone was murdered, apparently. I'm just going to ignore that. These things happen. This additional hospital is basically never going to get done because I'm not importing any tools for it. But I was going to say I don't think we need it, but we absolutely need it. And I think for the same reason, this other hospital isn't actually getting repaired, because we don't have any tools. So I'm going to have to import some tools. They're incredibly expensive, so I don't look forward to this. Oh, actually, they're only 121 from this particular neighbour, so that's not horrible, but they'll get more expensive the more we import. Wow, that depleted our clothing very quickly, increasing the access there. But, okay, that might be just a kind of temporary initial consumption as every single subject goes and empties the warehouses to get new clothing. So it's worth keeping an eye on that rather than panicking and trying to increase production. Okay, so coal production is kind of worryingly close to being equal. I would prefer if it was a little bit more, but I massively stripped back the coal mining employment, so okay, I'm not going to worry about that too much, actually. I'm not going to worry about that at all. I'm just going to keep letting our population grow a tiny bit more. And we will start building this library. Whereabouts exactly? Perhaps I could fill this space in here. As like, I kind of have to remember now that these guys actually like it cramped. They like it to be a tight squeeze. Just like your mother. So, a load of shelves for books. Margaret. Anybody get that? I'm sure plenty of people got that. It's very easy to tessellate these, because the carpets can be walked over. Wait, what's happened here with the wall? I don't understand that. Alright, let's go with that. Pop some doorways on it. That looks good to me. Yeah. I probably could have made it slightly more efficient for building materials and maintenance-wise, but it's fine. Did I unlock the next level of fungus road? I think I did, right? No, I didn't yet. Okay, fancy roads. Because they like that considerably more than the regular one. And it also is, oh no, it's not slightly faster. Oh, I thought it was slightly faster than the fungus road. Huh. It's strange that it's not faster. I could have sworn it was slightly faster, but never mind. I could have sworn a lot of things that were wrong, so... You know. It is what it is. Alright, our workforce has recovered immensely quickly. Almost worryingly quickly. Actually. Oh, what's that? Somebody's injured. What happened? Bleeding badly. Well, they say they like to sneak up on people, so... It's probably their fault. I'm not going to think about it too much. So did we build that other hospital now? No, nearly. Salve, Peter Parker. Well, I don't have any choice, so I am going to pay the things they want. Interestingly, they asked for like 1,000 furniture, which I didn't think I had, but I guess I must have had a load of leftover furniture inside the storage of one of the carpenters or something. Anyway, don't think about it too much, just roll over and take it. We'll train soldiers once this library's built. Actually, is it worth waiting for the library to be built? Probably not. I'm going to try and slightly bump our clay production up. Man, I wish this mining was happening faster. But when you're mining a tunnel that's 3 wide, it just takes a long time. Because only 3 people can work on it at a time. Okay, the number of odd jobbers is very rapidly rising, so let's go ahead and set the recruits limit there to 50. And see where that gets us. I have no idea how long it kind of takes them to train. Or whether I can see their, like, skill. Oh, there you go, melee training. We're having a heat wave, that'll be good. Oh, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on them, seeing if that number's going to go up at all. Doesn't look like it. It must take quite a long time. Oh yeah, days to reach max level, 100. I see, okay. Well, nothing I can do about that. That's not true. I can actually, quite substantially make it faster. By spending innovation. As always. So now it will say 72. So that's not too bad. Oh, I could also just spend 362 metal to upgrade the training ground that would increase that by another 50%. The current food need of a subject. I wonder if I should unlock the restaurants. I'm going to find out how much knowledge I actually produce in this place, not too long now. Yeah, there you go. That's being built finally. I'm not expecting that much, to be honest, but you never know. I might be surprised. How many people does it employ? It can employ 30 scribes, and I can spend some leather to make it twice as much. Alright. I'm currently at a net loss for leather, though, so that doesn't seem like a great idea. Again, let's see where we get to with this place. Initially. Estimation of how much knowledge will be produced, 15. That's not a lot. That isn't a lot, is it? But yeah, we'll let that go and see where we get to. Currently at negative innovation for some reason. These things happen. We're gonna need more housing very soon. That keeps creeping up on me. So let's go ahead and upgrade these rooms. I don't think I have any more easy gets when it comes to room upgrading. There's a couple there. But it's going to get much harder, much faster there to just easily free up a load of living space. I mean, I could probably unlock the second floors. Actually, I might be wrong. That might be a substantially further upgrade. Architecture, basements, second floors, 60 knowledge. Yeah. If I'm going to produce 15 from this library, then that's going to be tough. So apparently I have... This is showing me that I have 50 people in melee training. I have 1 soldier ready to be deployed. Yes. So does that just mean there is 1 person who is technically trained? I do not know. I do not know. It would be better if they had weapons, of course. We'll try and get to that. Still waiting on the iron mine. Or, well, the ore mine. So I want to build this ore mine directly along... Oh, I can't even plan it while it's blocked by terrain. Okay, fair enough. Thought I could. Okay, I'll wait then. No big deal. No big deal. Is a noble of military possible? Doesn't look like it. What about a noble of libraries? Paper makers, yes, but oh yeah. Master of libraries. Boosts 50 workers in your libraries with 2.5 each. That's probably actually huge. I'd be willing to bet these guys have a library skill of, I don't know, maybe negative 800. Yeah, they have 0.6. So 50 people boosted by 2.5 would be pretty enormous. So let's go ahead and place a... what are these things called again? Chamber. Let's go ahead and produce another chamber for a noble of the library. The master librarian. You know what? It's going to be you, Don't Fushkind. Congratulations. You're a noble of libraries. Right, that will probably make a big difference. Yeah, from 15 to 63. Alright, yeah, that was pretty important. We need to get more leather then, with that kind of in mind. Leather could quite conceivably be something that we just import forever, I suspect. The buy price is 188 though, that's quite a bit. So, perhaps not. We haven't been making much money lately. Oh, I guess I've just been buying a load of tools and they're very expensive. Yeah, that'll do it. But we did get that hospital built, so it's not all bad. And eventually, we can start making our own tools. I do also need to think about the effect that's going to have on our coal supply. But no, as I've discovered already, that's fine. I have a massive amount of employment overhead, let's say, available to me in the coal mine, so I should be able to just quickly double our output there and see how that affects things. Yeah. So where am I going to want to do this? If I just like dig out a load of this mountain here, let's say like up to there. Hopefully that doesn't pull workers away from the tunnel, the important tunnel. But yeah, no, look how much... Oh god, it happens so quickly when there's available surface area to work on. God. If only it could be like that everywhere. Then we're going to do metal smelter. Okay, fine. I guess I'll wait. I don't know how big I want this to be. But I think we're going to go with something like that. I'm just for some reason assuming it needs to be really big. Bigger is always better, right? That is just a universal truth, I've been told. So we'll just have a door on each side and the front there. That's going to cost, well, a lot of stone and wood, but that's pretty much all, so that's fine. I didn't check how many people that would actually employ. I need to build more housing, or kind of get it queued up to be built sooner than later. So let's copy this again. And place that there. And also there. Nope, not there. That was a bad one. Don't do that. Whatever I just told you to do there, don't do it. Cancel job. I accidentally built it into woodcutters. I didn't realise they were still there. Maybe they don't need to be there. Well, maybe they do though. I can employ a load more people in this one. I forgot that I quote unquote refurnished it. This will copy the existing upgrades on these houses, right? I'm pretty sure it does. Maybe not though. It only costs 30 stone apparently right now, so perhaps not. So we're now showing 91 soldiers, 50 people in melee training, 41 soldiers that are ready to be deployed. Deployable / recruits, okay. So as far as I can tell, two divisions, okay, yeah, 39 men from Division 3 are fully trained, whereas only 2 in Division 2 are. And if I want to... Basically, I think these are... Okay, they just have different icons, but as I have the training capacity, more people will be trained for these divisions. And then I think they just go back to their regular jobs. I could be wrong, but... Oh, we reached a new level for 2,200 people, which gives us 50 knowledge, 50 innovation, and 6 noble promotions available. I'm not sure if there's any really obvious choices for noble promotions. I already... How many is he promoting in the clay pits right now? Is it 150? Yeah, it's 150 at 1, right? Yeah, so the clay pit is working fully. The library is working fully. Maybe stone mine wouldn't be a bad place to spend one of those. We'll get back to that. I still can only have 10, right? Yeah, 10 is my current cap. What about the Baltic crawlers? They're all being elevated. Yeah, okay, I don't think we actually have anything to really worry about with these right now. I may end up wanting a noble for the metal industry, but we'll address that when the time comes. Can I check in on these houses? Are they being... Oh no, yeah, they're being built unupgraded. Okay. Right, we've got 82 knowledge now, so I want to unlock the asylum. And I am also going to want to unlock the rest homes. Sorry, I was just blowing my nose. Yes. But let's deal with the asylum first. I also want to get the upgrade to food stalls and probably get restaurants soon, because I think the people here, I think the bug people do actually like that. Okay, this woodcutter isn't actually doing much. I'm going to get rid of it. I know that on paper we're you know, using more wood than we're cutting, but it's kind of fine right now. I'm not going to worry about it too much at this very moment. How many? This only employs 10 people, so I'm just going to get rid of it and then increase this by 10. There you go. Problem solved. Because I want this space, basically. So... Where is it? Health. Asylum. I get a lot of people going deranged, and I'm hoping that this will... help. It had better help, that is rather the point. Haha, better help. Get it? More like better not help. Cells. Okay, that's one way of putting it. We've currently got 50 deranged people. And I don't know how long it will take this place to derange them, as it were. But I could do that, not like that. I could do it like that. So there you go. It can be this width for the kind of the cell blocks. What actually is that distance-wise? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 9 tiles. Okay. So. I think this is the way to do it. Okay, it does use a little bit of metal to make the cells. So that's obviously not great, but we are... Oh man, it uses all this. Okay, let's cut down on this. Let's not go crazy. Let's go with that. Yeah. I don't really know, again, how many I need, because obviously we currently have 49 deranged people, but these people could have gone insane a long time ago and the numbers just built up very slowly. So, whilst I won't have enough cells for every deranged person in the city right now, hopefully I at least have enough cells to keep up with the production of new deranged people. Oh, one of the other things I wanted to look at was the better roads. Okay, that's going to cost 30 knowledge, so I can't do that right now. Oh, I got a load of innovation as well. Forgot about that. But where to spend that? I think that I'm going to have to put a load of innovation into Auroch pastures, because whilst these hunters produce 50 leather, and you know what, actually maybe that is simply what I do, because the Garthemi are... Can I see their work here? Oh yeah, this is a much easier way to see. I don't think they like working in Auroch pastures. Like, never mind, are they not very good at it? Okay, yeah, they're much better hunters. 1.2 as opposed to 0.6 on the Auroch pastures. So maybe I am just better off using hunters. I probably still have a couple of hunters set to produce meat. Yeah, I do. So if I were to just change all of them over to leather, we can see how that affects our production for both meat and leather, because we are currently producing 500 excess meat. So let's see what that does to the numbers. And honestly, a lot of the consumption of meat is just decay, because we have 10,000 of the stuff stored. I can probably, with that in mind, I can probably also increase food servings, perhaps even fairly substantially. It's still only showing us as having 4 days of food in storage, but if I stored any more food, it would just be decaying insanely fast. I mean, I know I don't have a lot of food variety available, but I'm pretty sure they They mainly eat meat. Seems to be all they care about. Okay, we're finally breaking into the open space here. Where the ore mine will be, so hopefully this will speed up a bit. The reason our bread supply is falling is actually because we're now using more grain than we're producing. That should be relatively easy to bolster with another field. We are also not storing... Okay, I just noticed that this field is absolutely covered in cotton because we aren't storing it anywhere. So we can probably build a quick and dirty warehouse for it. Let's just fill this space here for that. Dreadful news on account of poor... Okay, we've got an epidemic of the river runs. Well, it's probably going to be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm just going to put this warehouse... Wait, what's that? That's a potter. Okay. Harry Potter. Where is my weaver? Do I even have a weaver? I don't think I made the weaver yet, so... Okay, let's build with that in mind then, actually. So I'm going to put a warehouse there. And then refining weaver. Let's kind of build around this warehouse where the cotton will be stored. Something like that. Okay, and then door through there, door out the bottom. And let's say a door there. And fill that bad boy up with looms. Did I really not make a weaver? I swear I have a memory of placing looms. Well, if I have two now, I have two now. Not the end of the world, is it? It's inefficient, therefore it is the end of the world. Actually, it's going to take a while to build. The employees of our potteries has plummeted. Oh, because everybody's got the runs. Yeah, that's fine. That's going to happen, no big deal. I don't have any way of improving recovery, so it is what it is. Whatever, no big deal. Okay, this furnace, or rather metal smelter, did finish. It looks like it will use 24 coal and 24 ore per day, so that's an amount of coal that should be fine. And I suspect we'll be able to supply a lot more than that. Let's make sure nobody's currently employed there because they'll have nothing to do. We're already having a bit of a workforce issue on account of the river runs. I'm assuming I can't grow opium here. No. Oh, I actually have to research the poppy farm. Oh, I didn't realise. But can I grow opiate here anyway? I think there's only certain maps that you can actually... I could be wrong. Can I please go back to... Thank you. Oh, yeah, it appears poppies do grow here. Oh, I should probably unlock that at some point. Might be quite valuable. Same for herbs. I expect they might actually be worthwhile. Yeah, opiates. Herbs are very expensive. Wow. Unfortunately, we are terrible farmers. So, excuse me. I'm not sure if that knowledge does much for us. To be completely honest. Oh, so many people are not working right now. This sucks. It makes people insanely unhappy, but like, there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, there you go. The number's now finally clearing up. The river runs. Infected 310 people currently with the river runs. Oh good, and now a heat wave. I don't know, so it says here Wirax exposure. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Wirax exposure is. So I'm just going to try and ignore that. I do appreciate that I probably shouldn't have mass graves right next to the people like that. It's not good for health. Anyway, the epidemic seems to be ending, so we can all relax on that front. We can all chill out. Nobody's got the runs anymore. It's not a big deal. It never was a big deal. Everybody just continue about your life as normal. Let's upgrade the food stalls. If I could find the others there. And there should be one over here. Because I got that upgrade and never actually did it for some reason. Oh, the asylum was built. Look at them spinning around in their metal cages. Goodness me. So treatment. Oh, they would consume rations. Oh. Okay. Well, that's a problem. So a ration. Ration maker. They just use bread, apparently. Oh no, they can use bread or meat and herbs. But the most basic recipe is just bread, so... another reason to improve our grain harvest, then. I'm going to pack this in as tightly as I can, because again, it turns out these people actually want to be really cramped. They do not like space. Let's use the line tool here, I think. I don't foresee us needing many rations right now, so I'm not going to go crazy. We'll just see what this does for us. Little ration factory. Alright, there is no epidemic. Very good. Still like 80, 90 plus people infected though. The biggest factor simply being population, and I mean, there's not a lot I can do about that. It seems like A number of things improve health, so we should probably figure out bathhouses. Unfortunately, that's, well, quite a ways down the tech tree from where I currently am. Is there anything else that's kind of obviously doable? Religion? Religion? How's that help then? Could I actually do a lot more here for the people's religious needs? There's only 117 people who are schmallerists. Apparently Arminianism can help with health, but I think they need to be able to sacrifice for that. Where is an Arminianism? An Arminianism. I don't think I really need to do any more shrines. Yeah, I think we're fine actually for shrines. The load on all of these is really low. I think the same is true of the lavatories. 65, 11, 37. I think we're good. Man, I wish we could get this mining done sooner. What are all of my odd jobbers focused on right now? Building this weaver and the ration maker. That's fair enough. Both things that I did ask them to do. Gonna go ahead and upgrade some more of these houses. Just trying to keep ahead of the need for housing. I can also upgrade these warehouses. I could do double upgrades. I think it just increases the carry capacity of the warehouse workers. I'm up talking a lot. Sometimes I realize that when I'm recording these videos, I end up up talking up. Every sentence ends with an upwards inflection, and it annoys me because I'm not asking questions. Excuse me. So if you have a massive amount of innovation, you can actually end up upgrading the carpenters. It seems like a good idea. I decided to just put a few points of innovation there into my woodcutters. I might do a few more. Just for the sake of making them slightly more productive. Because they really aren't very productive at all. Some of which is unavoidable. Internal storage is full and production is stalled. Have a warehouse fetch the produce. Okay, let's make a proper warehouse that stores wood. Because I guess maybe we don't have one nearby. Here you go, look, there's a warehouse worker with a load of... Oh wait, no, that's a caravan, never mind. I thought that was somebody from the warehouse coming to collect... There's all the warehouse workers. So yeah, I'll make a specific wood warehouse. Just for handling all of that. Oh, there you go. The ration maker's going. So, oh wow, that would produce Christ, that would... I'm going to go ahead and massively lower the workforce there, because I don't want to consume 100 and something bread per day when we're barely even a positive on the production of it in the first place. But that is in service of feeding the insane people. Okay, they would use 4 per day at the moment, so that's all we need to make. So I think we can lower the amount even more, to be honest. We'll keep some excess. I don't think I'm actually I'm not storing it anywhere. Let's we've got a big grain warehouse, so I can steal some grain storage and have it as ration storage there. Oh, I forgot we are actually exporting bread. Only when the warehouse is pretty well full. Although we just don't really seem to sell a lot of it. Based on the fact that our bread storage hasn't been that full for quite a while, and there's nearly 400 bread sat on this export depot, I'm assuming we just straight up aren't selling much bread. Oh, this weaver finished as well, and I forgot to do the settings for this warehouse, so it ended up full of meat when it really shouldn't be. This was supposed to be for cotton and the resultant fabric. There you go. Move the meat somewhere else. It looks like the production and consumption is even when it comes to weaving, which isn't always very convenient. Don't have to think. The math does itself. Alright, we've got apparently 102 soldiers, training 50 more. Yeah, so it will just fill the divisions with trained soldiers, basically. So yeah, needs to train 4, needs to train 5, 38, 50, yeah. Okay, interesting, and good. Hey, look at that, the number of deranged people is going way down. I have no idea how long it takes to... Well, whatever. Oh hey, we get the 50 employee boost for the grain farms. Oh, Dina scratching at my door. Where were we? Whether or not I'll need to make more bakeries, I'm not sure about. Because I think my issue is very much not having enough grain, rather than the actual capacity for making bread with it. We'll see. We'll give that some time to work and see where the numbers land. Oh, these bolter crawlers all finished being built. Well, I should probably just keep building them, shouldn't I? So I need to take a look at the moisture overlay. I'm not completely convinced I can just keep building these across the, along the river forever. But I think that's what I'm going to do anyway. That's definitely what I'm going to do anyway. Can almost fit one of these giant bolter crawler breeders onto this little island. That would be funny. I may even end up putting them on this side as well, but then of course I would have to be able to defend that. Yeah, always the problem. The more you expand, the more you have to defend. I need to build a janitor over here, I'm now realizing. We have a load of area on the west, basically completely unmaintained. So I'm just going to slot one in this space here. I kind of assumed that the bolter crawlers were intended to go in the caves, but there's not necessarily any guarantee that it's moist inside the caves. I'm sure there's plenty of moist ground in here waiting to be uncovered, but I am not necessarily uncovering it. And I can use canals as well, obviously. I could just kind of design a system of canals to go around bolter crawler breeders, and that would probably kind of work pretty well. Right, I was importing fabric, so I can probably very safely stop doing that now. It is simply not required. Did I ever build that? Yes, I did build that wood warehouse, so let's set that up properly. It is exclusively for the storage of wood, and let's actually dedicate a couple of crates to furniture there. Because I'm actually making a decent amount of that. So our net production for wood is still actually negative. And it may almost always be. That might just be how it is. Right, very slowly this is being done. I think what I'm going to do is put a well in here, because it may be that the miners or the people coming into here have to keep leaving to go and cool off. So if I put a well here, maybe we can move along faster. Could it be that? I don't know. I think that is actually at least some of it, yeah. Some of these workers are going and using the well and then heading back to work. Who can say? I mean, it's just quite a ways from where they live and where they eat and such, I think is sort of the crux of it. They keep having to go back and just eat food. So I can use this to increase work safety, but I don't really know whether or not I need to. I'm looking at the administration stuff. How do I generate administration? Like, where is it produced? Is it in paper filing? Restructures our administrative work and makes it more efficient. Oh my goodness. Administration, embassy, in university administration. There it is. So it looks like I'm going to want to get that unlocked, but it costs 50 knowledge, so oh, I kind of forgot. I increased our leather production so that I could use it in the libraries to, in theory, double our knowledge production there. But our net usage for leather is still negative, or rather our net for leather is still negative. We're using much more of it for tailoring than we are producing. I believe I could swap, let me just check, but yeah, there is actually a fabric recipe which might be much more sustainable for us. Let's see. I think I only have one tailor, right? I can find out. Yeah, it's literally on the screen here. So let's see how that treats us. Well, it'll probably treat us very well. It'll massively affect our net production there, but it might... Yeah, we're not going to make enough fabric to keep that up forever, necessarily. We're still not producing a net positive for bread. Oh, apparently we are, actually. No, we're not. The consumption just went down because the number hit 0. Without unlocking the improved bakery upgrade, which would cost quite a bit of innovation, I'm just going to have to build more bakeries. But no, I think I can reasonably comfortably use some of my innovation on that. On improving bakeries, since we rely on the bread for rations. If I was farming herbs, then I would be able to use the meat, but I don't know, my meat production is such a delicate subject that I'm not sure that would be a good idea. Slowly, bit by bit, we will uncover this ore deposit. Because we've got, you know, however many 146 trained soldiers, but we don't have anything to arm them with, so it may not be super relevant. I'm going to go ahead and make a few more hunters. They're kind of the ugliest part of my city right now, just these big squares. But, I mean, it is what it is. Okay, something about fisheries being boosted, but I'm not doing any fishing, so it doesn't do anything for me. Alright, it does look like we're now positive on bread again. At some point I think I need to expand our fruit and vegetable farming just for the food variety. Because their current food preference is 33%. Like, I don't think that Garthemi... I think they vastly prefer meat, as far as I remember. I'm not sure where I can see that. Food? Where can I see your preferences? Show me your preferences. I want to know your preferences. Maybe I'll never know. Maybe I'll never know. Well, literally maybe I'll never know. I'm sure it's shown somewhere. I'm just being silly. I need to make more housing again. But real quick, okay, yeah, I do now have 61 knowledge, so I can think about unlocking administration. What was the other thing that I needed 50 knowledge for? There was something else. Well, it was fine dining was one thing I was thinking about. But I think administration is probably more important. I do also need it to unlock fortifications, but I can get the stone wall there for 10, and then I can unlock administration with 50, because that's pretty important. Not that I'm currently making paper. I also don't currently know what paper's made out of, come to think of it. I mean, I do in real life. Okay, I don't even know how to make it. Okay, yeah, it is made out of wood, so that's nice, I guess. But I don't know how to make paper. So that would cost me 15 innovation to learn. I also, by the way, I consistently forget that a lot of these have further stuff down the page. So can I make an administration and gain some benefit without paper? Or does it implicitly consume paper at all times? I mean, it's called paper filing. Oh. Sorry, I can hear the fire alarm going off downstairs. My wife is back home, by the way. Alright, let's do this then. Shelves, clerk stations and carpets. All wonderful things, I'm sure. Oh, I don't need to put carpets down. I'm going to put a carpet or two down. Screw it. It looks pretty. So we're gonna build that and see what it does. If I can do anything without paper in terms of generating administration, or whether I have to consume paper. I'm assuming I'll be able to use paper for a bonus, but maybe it's not mandatory. So this market is at, this food stall is at 100% load right now. Okay. That is good to know. So I probably need another. This is what's got me kind of wondering whether maybe I do need the food halls, or the dining halls rather. I don't know whether or not that would take some load off of the food stalls. Because see, the load of the market here is only at 50%, but that food stall is getting absolutely slammed, apparently. The same is true of this one. So yeah, it looks like I just generally need more food stalls. Let's go ahead and switch our tailor back to leather for a bit. I did make a load more hunters, so I might... No, I was going to say I might be able to sustain that, but I absolutely cannot sustain that. They don't actually make that much. The commute is apparently affecting them pretty badly right now. But there is also just a luck multiplier on the hunters, which, I mean, fair enough. It's kind of how it works. Alright, we're almost through our population of deranged Garthemes, which is very nice. But I'm also going to need to make more housing. We've got this whole block here unupgraded. That's a nice easy win. It's always nice to just be able to get like 40 free housing like that. Well, not free obviously, but you know what I mean. And these are all the like long houses, the relatively space efficient housing as well. I dread to think what it'll be like if I was trying to give everybody a nice little house. Oh, these are unupgraded as well. So that's good. Okay, yeah, we're positive on bread again. I believe we are very slightly positive on Piva, the alcohol, overall, because I keep seeing it above 0. But we do have a tavern as well, right? Oh no, we built an inn, not a tavern. I remember building something. It's also like fully used basically all the time, apparently. So we must actually have quite a bit of tourism happening, which seems crazy, but in fact, yeah, it's where most of our money comes from. Oh, maybe I need a better inn. Or, well, another larger inn. I'll put it next to the asylum. We'll call that an entrance. And do another little blob over here. Again, the Garthemi like things to be rounded. Quote-unquote rounded. It can be a slightly weird concept in Songs of Syx, but you have to make some kind of effort. Just line the empty space with some carpets here to fulfill the coziness meter. Very important. Basically every little bit of floor space needs to be covered in carpet, but I like to leave little gaps because it looks a lot better visually. Than literally just filling every available space. Even though that's more efficient. There you go. That's a very expensive building to make, but we're generating quite a lot of income from tourism, so I don't mind. Don't mind doing it. Alright, we're actually going to be at the full 200 trained soldiers relatively soon. So again, it would be really nice if I could actually arm them properly. So much so that I might cancel any mining down here just to get people to focus purely on the ore patch. Number of available workers right now, not actually huge though, and that will be partially due to a load of people being hired into the new Balticrawler breeders, and also all of the other new shiny things I've recently built, like another grain farm and such. What are we looking like population? Yeah, so we hover around this like 240 number for babies. And I'm still relatively happy with this level of growth. I don't think I would be able to keep up with various services. That's mainly housing, actually. I think housing would be a huge problem. I'm just not... And the way I've got it kind of laid out isn't super efficient. I could probably do a lot better. But... you know, how are we for well coverage? Got a bit of a gap over here that I might want to fill. It's so strange that the overlay for, like, if you select a well, you get this like heat map of the level of service for wells. So like it, you know, it shows me that perhaps it would be a good idea to put one over here. But if I then go, okay, cool, let's build a well, it would be really nice if that service heat map came up now. Anyway, just a minor UI gripe. Yeah, the smarter thing for me to be doing here with housing would be to, well, just design a super tileable, efficient block. But I kind of just wanted things to be a bit more natural looking and feeling. I'm going to keep using longhouses though, because again, the Garthemi, they don't give a shit. Well, you can just go forever. Now that is long. I'll give you that. That is a long house. That's so long that it doesn't fit on the screen. Long. It's a long house. So what I'm kind of thinking is if I were to, I'm going to just pause the game briefly to kind of plan this so it doesn't just start getting built straight away. If I put that over there and then sort of planned in the middle, food stall, well, let's do a big well. I thought you could do one bigger than that. Yeah, like that. Humidifiers. So many humidifiers, of course. They like it wet. And then also copy this market and pop it up here at the top. Also probably a stage and a speaker, which I think I've been kind of lacking on actually. Okay, I'd have to move the humidifiers. To fit the stage in there, but that's fine. Yeah, I think I've been slacking on stages and speakers. Home, house. Turn that around and pop it over here. Symmetry. So, like, this is great. It doesn't feel super Garthemi, though, right, is the problem. Like, yeah, I can cover the floor in fungus, and that helps, but, like, it's a bit organized looking. So I'm gonna pop it down there, just because, like, I need way more housing available. Okay, our scouts report these people have about 168 soldiers. Yeah, I mean, look, I apparently have like 200, but they don't have weapons, so I'm just going to give them what they want until I can solve that problem. Weapons and armor, probably fairly important. With that in mind, at some point I'm going to have to make an additional tailor to produce leather armor. Unless I end up making so much metal that I'm okay with smithing armor, but we'll see. I doubt it. I am noticing that I could definitely make another weaver. So I'm going to see if I can steal this already designed one and just pop it somewhere else very conveniently. That would be nice, wouldn't it, if so? Oh, would you look at that? It fits there. Well, ain't that just beautiful? Because, yeah, I'm not getting through the amount of cotton that I'm farming. Oh, we are now negative on bread quite substantially. And yeah, it's just because we don't make enough grain. I did already get a load of grain farming upgrades, right? Oh, well, a load might be a stretch, but don't have any innovation anyway. I do have some administration, so yeah, okay, using paper is optional for this, but it makes it 3 times as efficient. So, yeah. Currently it makes 23. Presumably you can have an administration noble. Yeah, that's going to be well worth having. I don't know at what point I will, Oh no, not river runs again. Not the river runs again. Here we go again. Prepare to have no workforce for a while. This old song and dance. Oh well, it'll pass. There's 500 people infected. No big deal. I mean, our health value is terrible. But, I don't know. It kind of is what it is. I could unlock medicine, which would give us physicians. Maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to unlock physicians, because just increasing the health multipliers here would be really nice. And I'm assuming physicians will go a long way to do that. Let's just fill this gap here with one. It's kind of nice to know that by just stuffing buildings into any available space will also make my people happier. Just cramming things in. So I don't know kind of how much available services I need here, but I'm just going to kind of fill the room, obviously. That's how these things go. Or at least as best I can, anyway. I do want the quality to be 100%, of course. Which might mean removing a workbench. Remove item. There we go. Oh, just removing that actually put the quality up to 100%, so we can kind of split the difference, maybe? Yeah, there we go. So that's surprisingly cheap. And something that always occurs to me whenever I build a building that's new to me in Songs of Syx, and it just costs stone and wood, I always think that implies I should have had this a long time ago. You know? When I build something and it's like, oh yeah, it costs metal, pottery, polished stone, I'm like, fair enough, that's appropriate. When I like this, I just build this physician and it's like, yep, that'll cost you 300 stone, 300 wood. I'm like, probably should have built that 50 years ago. So we'll see what that does for us. I can't remember how many people that was going to employ. But the number of people with river runs is already plummeting. We're fine. Okay, let's not have the mass grave in the middle of town. I gotta move the mass grave from the middle of town. We simply cannot do that. Deactivate the room will allow the corpses to decompose peacefully. Current cadaver days until clear 15. Yes, that's fine. That is what that does, right? Load 100%, load 0%. Is that now deactivated? Yes, I think that is now. Anyway. This inn has been under construction for a long time. Because we don't make enough pottery, apparently. I think that's because oh no, I didn't. This is fully working. Or at least as should be. Probably isn't right now because everybody's got the shits, but it usually would be. Can't help but notice we have less meat than we should. Well, I have multiple boulder crawler breeders, in theory, in being built, so hopefully we can solve that problem. I've kind of done this thing again where I've simultaneously planned far too many building projects. But they'll all get done, it'll just take a hot minute. Yeah, I planned an additional weaver, a physician. This inn is still being built. Load of housing. So, this is my own fault. No big deal. I did unlock fortifications, didn't I? I'm fairly certain I did. I'm just wondering if there's anything I can do with administration here. Anything that I want to do, rather, with administration. So I can help with inflation, which I don't think I super care about right now. I can try and attract more immigrants, which I definitely don't want to do right now. I think that spoilage and maintenance both seem like pretty good options. Caravans is probably wise, but I don't really understand the world map, so I'm going to go ahead and get spoilage. Yeah, it's only a 10% bonus though, so I'm not actually super sure about that, but I'm going to do it. Because we do lose a lot of meat to decay. 500 most days, so let's see. That's gonna, save us maybe like 50? Yeah, that's not gonna make a huge difference. I'm still gonna do it. You know how it is. I was at some point supposed to get the nicer roads. Oh yeah, right, that costs 30 knowledge though. Another library is probably one of the next things on the list. Okay, the physician is done. So we now have 9 physicians. does that do for our health? We'll see where this number ends up, I guess. Really, only 1.02? Surely not. We now employ over 50 in weavers, so I guess we can say that's finished. Okay, we'll see what that number lands at, but if it was seriously a 0.02% benefit, then that's well, that's not great. On the other hand, this inn is very nearly finished. I don't know what it's currently waiting for, to be honest. Oh, it's waiting for all of the excess resources to be cleared. There's just a load of wood all over the floor. Well, if you could please do that. Okay, now I'm worried. Our meat value is lessening. Not good. Not good at all. I do. The last thing I want to see is our meat number going down. But I can no longer upgrade. Oh, actually, that's not true. I can. I do have some more ability to improve the Baltic Crawler breeders. But not a huge amount. Do I employ enough now there to make it worth? Yes, I do. So I can get slightly more by improving the noble there. Where can I see what my next level will be? Here it is. So I am currently Dakori. I quite like a daiquiri. And at 3,000 people, I get Daiquiri Ray, which gives me 8 more noble promotions. So do I ever get more nobles? I don't actually think I ever get more nobles than 10 by the looks of it. So spend them well, I suppose, is the point there. Okay, fair enough. We suddenly have no workforce again. What finished? Well, this weaver, 842 people. And with that in mind, does that mean I can switch back to making clothes out of cloth again? Probably, right? How many people does the inn employ? Only 5. So I kind of need to wait for the workforce to regenerate somewhat. Right, I did unlock fortification, didn't I? So I probably want to start actually thinking about that. If I were to... Whoa, that's thick. If I were to build a wall like this, let's just build it along to there for now, and then we'll figure out the gatehouses in a moment. Did I do that width? Okay. It's so strange how it transitions from what looks like 3 wide to 2 wide when you do a curve. The line tool is a bit strange, is what I'm saying. Works a little bit weird. mean, bug people probably don't know how to build a wall straight anyway, so maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm going to build this wall up to here for now, but I'm probably going to need more space. But I think what I'm going to actually want to do... I might as well just do the gatehouse now as well, actually. That's in military? Yeah. So that's actually being built remarkably quickly. I think what I'm going to want to do is figure out a nice, easy way of maximizing, you know, bolter crawler employment, you know, bolter crawler breeder size, and also surrounding them with canals so that I can stop with this excessive line of breeders along the river. I need to move my meat production inland. Stat. No longer shall we be slaves to the river. Also, I really wanted to get the ore mine and some metal production done this episode, and I think we just might. Oh yeah, I shouldn't be too optimistic actually, because it's probably going to take a very long time to, you know, actually build the mine, but we'll see. So let's set aside a load of space for all of the millions of auxiliaries that will be required to get the efficiency up. Because that's just how it goes with mines in Syx. So much additional faff. You may be able to build it on the no, you can't. Okay, I wanted to check. You can't build your auxiliaries on the actual deposits without lowering the number of miners that can work there. So now I know. There you go, 100%. Will it stay 100% once I finish clearing out all of the deposit? No, it will not, of course. Come on, mine these bits. You know what I want you to do, so do it. Mine these two pieces now. Mine these two pieces now. Mine this one. He's working on it. Oh, mining is hard, apparently. There we go, finally. The whole deposit covered. Storage. Didn't place any storage. Oh, Master of the Grain Farms died. These things happen. Slightly awkwardly difficult. Okay, let me not shrink room auxiliaries, get rid of that one so I can place storage there instead. Because these mines typically need quite a bit of storage. Okay, there we go, finally. Now we actually don't need to mine all of this, thank you. So with a bit of luck, this will be built very, very quickly. We have everything we need. So it just needs bringing over, and we have 138 odd jobbers because, again, our population is just growing. It's strange that it's weirdly still feels like the rise of the population is ramping. And I don't... the same number of babies exist, but yet it feels like the population grows faster. It may just be that I spend more time in 4 speed now, as you naturally do the longer you play a game like this. Alright, so we can employ a max of 150 people in there. We'll see what we get out of 90 for now. Apparently... Okay, well, wait a second. Apparently about 400 ore per day, which is probably a lot more than I need. Now this warehouse isn't set to store ore, and I don't think I will set it to store ore. Store ore. Parkour. Alright, very funny. That occurs to me I've never actually built paths up into the mines, which would certainly help with the warehouse workers. I mean, it would help if I used a cobblestone road, because it's considerably faster, but... well, you know. They like the fungus roads. What can you do? We have 1.2 thousand gems. Just to check, I have been selling gems, right? Am I not exporting any gems? We now employ 50 in our ore mines. You're damn right we do. I'm exporting stone, cut stone, gems, there you go. Okay, I just have it set to 40%, so we do apparently sell gems. I think we're just very slowly filling the warehouse up. At some point I massively cut the... Oh yeah, I enormously cut down the employment there, fair enough. A weird political ideology has spread amongst your most educated subjects. Democracy. It seems to offer no advantages compared to despotism that you can see, but your citizens seem to think it has merit. While the movement is in its infancy, it would not take much to focus on it. It would not take much to focus it on other more deserving despots, but doing so will harm relations with them. It would not take much to focus it on other more deserving despots. I'm going to focus them outwards, which increases my loyalty but lowers... Oh, right, that makes other people not like me. Okay. Well, they probably don't... They were probably never going to like me much anyway. Right, what I was going to say was I can probably afford to employ more people in the gem mines. Because I did always kind of plan for it to be a solid export business for us. Oh, of course, I do also now need to actually employ people here. And I can probably just set that to max and then let the kind of working population catch up to it. I'm still worried that our meat stores aren't full, by the way. This is not escaping my notice. So this would be using only 50 ore at most, so yeah, I can definitely afford to employ less people in the ore mines. I'll keep it at 50 just to get that that production bonus, because why not, I guess. But yeah, we can do with less because we just don't have the smelting capacity. Right, so that means we'll be making our own metal, so I can take, finally, this should have been done much earlier, but I can finally take that off of my imports. And then the next thing to build here will be a smithy. I'm going to end up with multiple smithies, but just, you know, the one initial smithy here, which will be for tool making. And I think I probably said this in an earlier episode, but I believe tools are far, far, far more important than I've given them credit for. I'm sure we will find out. Would that be enough space to... Okay, I think I could actually make that one much bigger, yeah. I don't think that's perfectly efficient or anything, but it'll work. Right, we let that build. Hey, our bread stores are full. Fancy that. I'm not really sure what changed, but okay. Apparently some rooms have problems with workload. It would be great if it would tell me. Well, the ore mine is apparently at 50% workload. I'm not sure why that would be. Oh, it's because the storage is totally full. Yeah, because the this warehouse wasn't built yet. Okay, hang on. That can be resolved. So this is mainly for ore, but we will also store metal in here. Let's go up to like that, roughly 1,000. And then we'll store tools in here. And flanks, swords, and shields. Let's say shields as well. And also plate armor? Yeah. You know, smithing things. You know, smithing things. Alright, there you go. This first smithy is almost done, so we can see what we can actually do. Work-wise. Right, so we're going to make tools. This is going to cost us coal and metal. And we'll employ 36 people apparently, so let's let them get to work and see what we actually use here. Apparently we would use 12 metal per day, which is less than we're making, which is good. And we'll make 60 tools at the cost of 60 coal as well. Okay. So I'm going to need more coal, but that's okay. Because I have plenty of space available in the coal mines. The children, as we know, they yearn for the mines. Yeah, so we make tools now. I can stop importing tools. We imported a lot of tools, 655. So let's see if we can put some of these tools to use here. There must be at least some industries that I have unlocked the ability to use tools for. Yes, clay mines, the clay pit, for example. Okay. It's currently making about 1,000 per day. And I can allocate tools to it. So if I give it a 1 tick of allocation of tools, then it will apparently degrade... Okay, it will apparently degrade 4 tools per day, which seems like a lot. Really, 8 tools per day? seems like an enormous amount. For a relatively small buff, I would say. The nobility is doing a lot more to benefit us than the tools are there. Like, they're adding a +2, basically. But so is nobilities and technology. So the tools aren't doing that much there. Yeah, I don't love the idea of degrading 9 tools for that smaller bonus on the clay pit. I mean, it gained us like 100-ish per day when I could just as easily employ 10 more people there. I mean, I assume actually. Let's take a look here. 4.8. If I increase the number of people working here up to 150. Will that will also increase the amount of tools that degrade? That's tough. So I'm probably not going to put tools in the clay pit there because the nobility is doing kind of the majority of the work. Obviously, you can't just throw nobles at everything, so tools definitely have a good use. Probably more in industries that the Garthemi are terrible at. The Garthemi aren't so bad at working in the clay pits, whereas obviously in the grain fields they are god-awful. So if we take a look at one of our grain farms, and we don't have the technology to use tools in them, so I'm gonna need some more labs. Can I use tools in the labs? Yes, I can actually, but I would have to research it first. Well, I am very aware that tools are good. I'm not trying to argue that tools aren't good, obviously. Just not maybe as good as I had wondered if they would be. In the stone mine, I haven't learned how to use them in any of these mines, apparently. Or for woodcutters. Have I learned to use tools for basically anything other than clay pits? I genuinely don't think I have, you know. Oh, except for carpenters. What would it do for me there? Because that's another industry that is not very Garthemi friendly, but which is also already getting a substantial bonus from nobilities. So I could allocate 2 notches of tools to that, which is 7-ish per day, and giving a 0.5 bonus, so taking us from 68 to 75 per day. That's not a lot. Considering this smithy is making... Oh, how much was it? 56. It's not really a lot to allocate. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch us over to making some weapons, which I haven't unlocked how to make yet. Never mind. Please hold. Okay, they cost innovation. I thought they would cost knowledge, but I guess not. Well, guess I'll die. Alright, so I'm going to need more, primarily, I think, laboratories. And I have the workload to support it, so that's fine. Sorry, the workforce to support it. Oh damn, we're going to run out of housing again. I can at least upgrade all of these, so that's good. That's a nice little bit for free. I may end up just copying this whole area over to somewhere else as well. Because it's just, it's more space efficient, and it's not very space efficient, but it's more space efficient than than how I've been doing it so far, put it that way. So I'm going to pop one of those down there as well. I could make it a bit more efficient by putting houses in the middle here, or even different types of housing perhaps, but I was leaving the space deliberately open for like other kind of, you know, service buildings later on. Whatever that may be, I'm not sure. Gonna keep kind of filling in the fungal road around here where there's currently just trees and stuff. The Garthemi don't like trees. I think that's actually genuinely true. We are making far more leather than we're using now. But we're actually out of clothing, so I need to change that. Fact, quite sharpish. Where is my tailor? Switch that to using leather. And I'm probably also going to replicate that tailor if I could find somewhere to squeeze that design, because I quite like it, so I'm going to pop that there. It would be nice to be able to use both fabric and leather at the same time. Even with 2 weavers, it looks like I'm not producing enough to keep up with making clothing there. I think that's probably because we're not making enough cotton though. So some of our new innovation will probably go on improving cotton farming. One of the things that would be very good though is if I had a noble for it, because we're just very, very bad at it, species-wise. I can't help but notice that my ore storage is not filling. I think I probably just need to employ some people in this. Oh yeah, okay. This warehouse blueprint that I made for some reason doesn't deliberately have doesn't have any employees as standard. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that to wait, some of these warehouses have 36 employees. Huh. Okay. You know what? Fair enough. If those warehouses think they need to employ 36 people, then they need to employ 36 people. I should probably actually go ahead and upgrade all of these warehouses, because it's very cheap. At least to level 1. Maybe not level 2, but... whoa, it makes an enormous difference. What the hell? It makes a gigantic difference to the storage capacity. Holy crap. I didn't realize what a gargantuan... See, I was actually misreading this. It says carry capacity plus 220. I think that means per crate. I was assuming it meant the carrying capacity of the delivery people. But I think it actually means storage capacity, not necessarily what I was imagining. Because the capacity of my meat storage just went from about, well, 10,000 to 21,000 with one of those upgrades. Okay. Right, well, I've been recording for nearly 2.5 hours now, so... I'm very pleased with what we've done here. These bolter crawler breeders just got finished as well, so... hopefully our meat situation will improve somewhat. But I do also, as a result, need to build more, and I've run out of space inside of my walls, so as I was saying, I need to figure out a way of building a more efficient, a more space-efficient inland bolter crawler breeder network. Actually, as well, just before I forget, this wall presumably needs to be extended out to the deep water there. Okay, so yeah, thanks for tuning in. We've made some pretty good progress here, I think. The population is continuing to skyrocket. And we're producing various things now that we weren't before. So, safe to say it's going reasonably well. Oh, we also actually have some kind of fighting force now, so there's that too. Alright. With any luck, I'll see you in 2 seconds when another one of my videos autoplays, but in any case, cheers.